Let's talk about an exclusive chat that my colleague Tamanna Inamdar had with HDFC's Keki Mistry. He expressed his concerns over lockdown extension and which way are we headed after the pandemic curve flattens out. Let's listen in to a slice of that conversation.
I think with every passing week, we are getting closer and closer to a situation where we will see a bigger opening up of the economy. So compared to where things were 2 weeks ago, there is more opening up of the economy. As you said, the green zone is open, orange zone some restriction, red zone also in bits there is some opening up, excepting of course in certain locations, certain areas where the problem may be will be more compounded. So I think we just have to be a little patient. The government understands best what needs to be done. We have to keep two things into account. We should not get into a situation where we open up the economy very, very quickly or very before time, because if that means that 4 weeks or 6 weeks later we have to go into another lockdown, it would be a complete disaster. So I think a calibrated opening up of the economy is very important, very necessary. And I think the government is doing the right thing in doing this. In terms of casualties, in terms of number of cases coming up, I think the government would be much better equipped to understand what is going on than what we can see through public domain.
Having said that, Mr. Mistry, so far the guidelines which have come out from the central government have then been coupled with guidelines from individual state governments. Now, for businesses, what are the challenges right now? Do you have a clear picture on how work will look and the extent of how much you can function for the next 2 weeks?
Well, I think for the last 6 weeks, people have been working from home entirely, and very, very few of the offices have been kept open. And those offices also have been kept open in the last 2 weeks, and that uses very, very limited number of offices. So my sense is that now from Monday onwards, there'll be more offices that will get opened up. And then hopefully 2 weeks thereafter, when the lockdown, I think, will probably get lifted in a much bigger way, we will see more offices getting set up. So I think from a business standpoint, things will slowly come back to normalcy. It may take a little while for complete normalcy to come back, but I think that is expected under the circumstances. So long as we don't have another relapse of the situation coming up 6 weeks or 8 weeks later, that is something we have to be very watchful of. We've gone through this 6 weeks of difficulty, and I think another 2 weeks is not going to be can still be managed. But after that, we should not have any further, relapse of this issue coming.
How do we ensure that a balance is maintained between this cautious approach, which is also necessary, and reigniting economic activity? We're already seeing the side effects of a sustained slump in economic activity, whether it is in terms of job losses, businesses getting hit. It would be difficult for the banking sector as well because debts might pile up. How do we ensure that there is some kind of a cushion there?
Look, my sense is if you have as much as 6 to 8 weeks of low activity or almost nil activity, then it's going to have some impact in terms of business going forward for some time. But India is a resilient economy. Our economy is entirely domestic. So at some point of time, notwithstanding what is happening.
All right, well, that was Keki Mistry on his fears regarding the lockdown extension.